And welcome back to The Wandering Wind. I'm your host, Gregory, and today I just want to be so thankful to you guys. I am so glad to be a part of something this wonderfully exciting and thrilling, just being here on YouTube. I've almost been here a full 2 years. It'll be 2 years exactly next January. And I tell you what, this has been the best 2 years of my life. Well, gonna be once I've gotten there. But this has been the best years of my life. Just being on here and growing and learning and being a positive influence on people. I have never thought in all my years that I would know of 300 and some people that, well, even 20 or 30 people that wanted to watch my content daily or even just weekly or monthly. I would have never thought that there would be people that would be interested in just who I am. And I thank you so much for being interested and showing your interest and just loving being here with me. I want to give credit to a few of my influences for doing this, for getting out here and showing up and being a positive figure in the world. One of the biggest influences that got me started on YouTube is definitely Boogie2988, aka Stephen Williams from Anaheim, or no, not Anaheim, but somewhere in the breadbasket of the world, I think, or whatever. But he has always been one of my favorite YouTubers, and I have seen his journey from being Francis, the guy that shocks everyone, to being Boogie, the guy that makes everyone think and makes everyone just enjoy the world better, to being Steven, just being himself, being who he is, being the lovely man that I know he is, both deep down inside, and you know what, he's not looking half bad either. He's losing quite a bit of weight. Boogie made a video about January of 2016, 2016, January 2016, titled How to Succeed on YouTube. And it wasn't talking about succeeding in, like, gaining lots of money or anything like that, because to be honest, if I'd been watching a video like that, I was starting YouTube for the wrong reasons. But no. He was talking about being successful on YouTube by just feeling good and knowing that you've got content that's out there that people can watch and learn from. And that really resonated with me right down to the core, because I've always been one to look for how I can help others, how I can reach out to others, because I'm a social creature. I'm a person that loves to be social with others. And he really got me started on thinking about being a YouTuber. And then I'm like, you know what? I need to not just think about it, I need to do something about it. So I created my channel. It started out as the AllyGamerGirl, and boy was I taking a very stupid name for my channel first and foremost. And then I finally got around to saying, you know what? I need to focus on being a vlogger, because I can't do gaming, so what is my vlogger name going to be? And I thought, you know what? I like to talk a lot, so I'm long-winded. Wind. And then I'm like, you know what? I tend to meander along the path of life and meander along the path of a conversation, never really staying in one place for very long. I tend to wander, and I'm like, oh, the wandering wind. There we go. So there's that. And so then I'm like, you know, I thought, there we go. But Boogie was only one of several influences that have shaped who I try and be on and off camera. Another really big influence in my life that I have talked about recently is Fred Rogers. Fred Rogers was and is a joy to many children across across the U.S. and even across many parts of Europe, because every week he told us when we were very small, "I like you just the way you are." And growing up, he was such an influence on me. Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood was one of my favorite programs as a child. And I've always wondered how he managed to be so calm, so soft-spoken, so kind amidst everything that goes wrong. In fact, I recently rewatched his speech on when things go wrong, when people start hurting other people. And I saw when he said, one of the things that gets me mad is when I hear about other people hurting other people. I could hear in his voice how he was getting a little frustrated, and he brought it right back in. That is, wow. And just being able to do that is a very admirable trait. I'd love to one day have that kind of a quality, that kind of a disposition where I can be calm and collected even when talking about things that upset me. And so Fred Rogers was yet another big influence on who I am. And finally, I think the biggest influence on who I try to be here on YouTube and off camera is my mom. Mom, if you watch this at one point, please don't embarrass me. But my mom is everything to me. She has been there since day one, unlike my father. You know what? Not going to get into it. She's been there for me ever since day one. And she has loved me just the way I am, just like Mr. Rogers said he did. But she's always also been a nurse for me. She's been a teacher. She's been a speech therapist. She's been a counselor. She's been a dietitian because she's tried to keep me healthy and keep me from eating the wrong kinds of food. She's been a school teacher because she used to help me a lot with homework. And then during the summer, she would give me more to learn because I always wanted to learn more until about the third year of that. And then my school teachers are like, "Stop teaching him during the summer. He knows too much." It's like, excuse me? Well, he complains about doing the homework or doing the work. Okay. But she's always been one to look for the understanding rather than reacting just blindly like everyone else. She's always been one to look for those that want to help out, that want to be more than just people, more than just puppets in the world. And she's always asked me, "Well, what do you think?" She's never said, "Well, you're going to do it this way and you're going to do it now." She's always, even when I was young, she would stop and ask me, "Well, what do you think, Gregory? What would you like to do? What would you have an idea about?" She's always considered my opinion to be important, even if it's smaller in the grand scheme of things. She's always considered it to be important. And that's one of the things I love about my mother. So those are some of the influences that turned me into the man I am today and helped me to craft who I want to be here for you and out in the world. So thank you guys so much for watching. And I just want to say that I'll be back when the day is new. and I'll have more ideas just for you. And you'll have so much that you want to talk about with me, and I will have so much I want to talk with you about. You guys have an awesome day. I love you so very much, just the way you are. You guys have a great day.